From mid-January to the end of February of 2024, we took another of our Snowbird adventures to escape the Ohio winter. This time we headed to Florida for warmth and sunshine.
We had heard how wonderful the Florida Keys are, so we added them to the itinerary for our Florida trip. Booking a campground can be challenging in the Keys, but I was able to snag a week at a primitive campground in Long Key State Park.
The views from our campground overlooked the ocean and were breathtaking. We had just enough room in the campsite for the tent and the awning in the vestibule.
And the stars at night were amazing.
There were only two problems with this campsite. First, it was a quarter-mile trek to the parking lot and restrooms from the campsite. And second, when the air was warm and still, the no-see-ums were relentless. We were constantly hoping for a breeze or a dip in the temperature so they would retreat to the depths of purgatory where they came from.
Known for its unspoiled natural beauty, diverse ecosystems, and abundance of native wildlife, Long Key is a must-see for those who would like to experience what the Keys were like prior to development. A great way to do this is to hike the Golden Orb Nature Trail, a 1.5-mile hike named after the spider that used to be prevalent in this area. Not many of the spiders remain after Hurricane Irma, but we did manage to see an active web. Big old green beans.
The hike took us from hardwood hammocks through the tidal basin all the way to the ocean. Along the way, we saw small holes created by fiddler crabs, and we watched seabirds hunting for their lunch. On the opposite side of the park is the day-use area with picnic benches and chairs that you could use to sit and enjoy the view. Camping at Long Key, because of the weight and heft of our equipment, was probably the most difficult setup we had ever had. And if we were to camp here again, we would use lightweight gear instead of our normal glamping gear.
The natural beauty of this place is undeniable, and we may very well find ourselves camping here again. Of all the Florida Keys, the one that captured my imagination the most was Key West. It's probably the most famous of the Keys. We drove 45 minutes from our campground to check it out. Once there, though, we realized we had made a tactical error. This was a Saturday, and it seemed like all of Florida decided to head to Key West on this day.
We drove around for a long time trying to find a parking spot, with no luck. Out of desperation to stop driving, we decided to go park at the fort.
Fort Zachary Taylor Historical State Park is on the tip of Key West and was named for the 12th President of the United States. It was built in 1845 to defend the nation's southeastern coastline and to provide protection for shipping routes.
Visitors to the fort can explore its historic grounds and learn about its military history through interpretive exhibits and guided tours. The park also features a beautiful beach, nature trails, and recreational amenities for visitors to enjoy.
This day, the fort was conducting a reenactment, so there was a lot more to see than on a usual day.
From atop the fort, we had an amazing view, and it became clear to us immediately why the area was so busy. There was a cruise ship in town and a musical festival that was gearing up to start.
evacuation on the upper deck. 5 minutes.
We watched some of the reenactments, including a live fire exercise and a musical performance, before heading down to find the trail to hike.
The Fort View Trail led us down a path where we had a nice view of the outside of the fort. We could see iguanas sunning themselves on the fort. We follow the trail to the crystal blue waters of the ocean and to one of the best beaches in Key West. As we left Key West, we passed by the southernmost point in the U.S. and saw the long line of tourists waiting in line to get their picture taken. Perhaps Key West is a little too peoply for our liking. We may come back sometime in the future and try it again, but for now I think we'll stick close to the Middle Keys. They seem more our speed.
That night, the clouds rolled in and the temperature dropped, and by morning, we had a full-blown rainstorm on our hands. We decided not to let that discourage us and instead looked for things that we could do that were primarily indoors. That was a lot harder to find than what we anticipated, but we eventually have found ourselves at the Aquarium Encounters in Marathon.
Aquarium Encounters offers educational programs and presentations to teach visitors about marine conservation, coral reef ecosystems, and the importance of preserving ocean habitats. These programs include guided tours, interactive demonstrations, and informative talks by marine biologists.
Try to leave, you still make me wanna stay. You ask me to believe in the words that you say, but I can't be strong if you can't move on. Don't you think
They provide opportunities to interact with marine life such as stingrays, starfish, and sea turtles. Some animals can be fed, and some animals can even be touched. We were given a private tour of the facilities, and it was funny to see how many of the animals are clearly used to being fed by humans.
if you can't be strong? But every time I hear you say my name, it always feels the same, 'cause I've loved you for a lifetime. We can run through fire and rain, but it always feels the same.
Cool little place, huh?
So you say you want to change.
We spent a fun few hours here, checking out the exhibits and interacting with the animals. If you find yourself a marathon and have a few extra hours, we highly recommend visiting Aquatic Encounters.
Strong if you can't move on. Every time I hear you say my name, it always feels the same, 'cause I've loved you for a
Our next stop was the Dolphin Research Center. The Dolphin Research Center is a nonprofit research and education facility dedicated to promoting the welfare of dolphins. The center conducts scientific research on dolphin behavior, cognition, communication, and physiology to better understand these intelligent marine mammals. We spent the rest of the day here observing and interacting with the dolphins.
Oh, there's one. Hey, friend. Hi, dear. You're so cool, man. Shelby. What's your name? Hi, dear. Bye. Yeah. You're so cool, man. Hi. You're so awesome.
Stay with mom an average of 3 to 6 years. So at that point, they're probably still nursing. They haven't learned how to hunt. They haven't learned how to care for themselves.
This may be serious science, but the team at Dolphin Research Center makes it a lot of fun for both the dolphins and the visitors. We highly recommend visiting this remarkable place if you get the chance.
Oh my gosh. Dance party? Yeah. Hi there. After a few days of rain, we finally got a break in the weather. We walked a portion of the old 7-mile bridge and took in the panoramic views of the turquoise water of the Florida Keys.
On our last day, we headed to the Key West airport for a very special excursion. We were taking a seaplane to Dry Tortugas, one of the most remote U.S. national parks. This was an amazing experience that we documented in detail in a prior video, and totally worth a 70-mile trip to see this amazing place.
Join us for our next episode where we explore the Central and North Atlantic region of Florida.